So if we don't need any break, then I say it is time to do what, Thano?
Unga bunga bunga
Unga
bunga
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 bunga bunga.
God damn.
And here's the thing: these aren't technically actual unga bunga people.
I mean,
these are still Homo sapiens. Are
ye-
Neanderthals unga bunga people, or can Homo sapiens be unga bunga people?
I think it's just cavemen in general can be unga bunga people.
They definitely were looking for caves. This is a fact.
That is that is, you know, like I said, like I told you, is unga bunga the derogatory term? Is calling someone a cave person a derogatory term? Because holy shit, it can be.
Maybe we can find the answer on this podcast.
So we are here to talk about a secret movie. We already kind of disclosed it in our last podcast, but AMC has for the last couple of months, since like November, late October, they've been doing secret movie releases. Every month they do it twice, give or take, maybe sometimes 3 times a month. They will play a movie. They will only tell you the rating.
Yeah.
Not even the genre. They will tell you the rating, and they will tell you the runtime.
Okay.
The fact that they let us know ahead that these were the Scream Unseen was actually kind of...
I feel like for horror you have to do that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because I think you're more likely to maybe be apprehensive about showing up to a movie if you know it's horror.
Even though I'd say this is more of a thriller.
Yes.
It toes the line. It could be both.
Yeah.
But I would not say this is pure horror.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. So I know I said to you, like, hey, let's try going to see this.
Yeah.
I hear it might be a spooky.
And can I say my piece?
Say your piece.
All right. So 2 things. One, mentioned this in our Argyle episode.
Absolutely.
The theater was packed. It was busting at the seams.
It's crazy because, like, we've been to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen a movie that full. Not even fucking Aquaman was that full.
Nope.
Not even fucking Argyle. I mean, Argyle was pretty busy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's
a wide release movie. Right. It was a night of release, right?
Yeah.
But on a Monday night for a random ass movie that you don't know.
So as I said, how to get the theaters happening again? You just don't tell people what they're about to see. Now, the other thing that I saved for this episode, which I forgot about until you reminded me of it. This whole campaign of like the secret showings is great, but man, oh man, are you setting yourself up for people thinking that you're cheating on them or doing something nefarious? Because my fiance was like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight? We're going to meet with Javier." And she's like, "What are you seeing?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know."
I don't know. He's just gonna make it up as he goes.
Yeah. And that's sus as fuck. But especially in this, I mean, that goes back to the other story. Especially in this world where like people aren't really going to the theater, and like people in general feel like screwed over by the theater. Yeah. Like to take a risk to see something that you don't even know what the fuck it's gonna be, I say is a testament to why we need the theater in our life.
And I think it's also like it's the draw of the mystery is a big draw.
Yeah.
Because you're like, ooh, I wonder where it could be, and it is very smart how they do it because they don't give you the exact runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time they've done it, the only way people kind of figure it out is honestly by just like deduction or process of elimination. Because like you go, oh, it's a PG-13 movie that comes out somewhat relatively close, and it's roughly around this long.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very obvious. Like I think Lisa Frankenstein was like the most obvious one for last week. I know even the one that we saw, I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Out of Darkness, but a lot of people were like, I don't know, that might be out too late. Yeah. It might be a little too short. Yeah. But I mean, that's what it ended up being, which is actually kind of funny because I had only heard about this movie like the second week of January.
Yeah.
Because they released the trailer. It's Stone Age, like period piece, which is honestly kind of refreshing. Is you don't really see a lot of like Stone Age or like ancient ass times.
So I watched this year, and it took multiple sittings.
Oh,
I watched Darren Aronofsky's Noah.
No, dude, that movie's a fucking drag.
It is a drag. It somehow manages to make the concept of Nephilim crazier and much less, and actually much more lame than they actually are. And that's a Stone Age drama.
Okay, wait, hold on. So Nephilim,
Okay.
is that because okay? I'm
In the movie,
blanking.
it's the guys with the rocks.
Yes, okay.
All right.
Because like
Are they the Watchers? I don't know. Anyway, whatever the Watchers or Nephilim, whatever they were,
the rock people.
the rock people. In the actual biblical mythology, the rock people are the angels who sinned. Like
Yes.
The Watchers are the angels who sinned. And they hate God, so they're gonna like fucking fuck with the people. And by doing that, they like take them and they convince the people to fuck them, and then they give birth to giants,
Mhm.
right? So like, or the rock people were like supposed to be the giants, or like the half angel, half people, or the rock people were just like Satan and demons.
Dude, who the fuck says that like
Much-
religion is not weird as fuck sometimes?
Religion's awesome, but like, but like Darren Aronofsky somehow took the source material and made it crazier, but also much worse.
It's fucking
Anyway,
nuts.
this movie though is head, shoulders, knees, and toes the better Stone Age, dare I say, biblical drama than Darren Aronofsky's Noah.
And I think it helps that like, all right. So when you think of like a low budget like
Mhm.
movie made by like nobodies,
Yeah,
this is a prime example of that. Because like I have no idea who the fuck any of these people
No.
are.
I
I
put
don't
this
even
in the
know who the
talk to me
director
box.
is. The what?
I put this in a talk to me box.
Yeah, but even then, like
That had the whole YouTube.
they had the
thing.
whole YouTube side because like
Right.
they like the Philippou brothers are extremely popular in the YouTube space.
Yep.
Outside of YouTube and outside of like our millennial and like Gen Z bubble,
Yeah, no one
like
knows.
you know fucking knows, right?
Right.
But like they have millions and millions of views, and like I said when we talked about Talk to Me, if you don't know them by name, you've at least seen the FBI open up
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
Because
That's
like
them.
that shit is everywhere.
Right.
Right? This is a movie that I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck Andrew Cummings is.
Mhm.
I have no idea who the fuck Sophia Oakley Green, who
Doesn't-
the fuck Chukwumudu is, who
Doesn't-
the fuck Kit Young is.
Doesn't name Andrew Cummings though feel like an actor that you should know who that is?
Because and I don't know if it's maybe because I'm like affiliating them with who's the guy who does the voice of Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, I don't know.
Jim Cummings?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
But like the director has done a couple of things.
Yeah.
He did something called Payback. He did something called like Click.
Yeah.
Some TV shows, but like these are like things that you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So like this is a low budget. Ain't nobody know anybody in this. Like,
Wait, you
it's a-
said he did Click?
not that Click.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Click as in like CLIQUE.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Not that Click. No, that'd be
That would be fun.
that would be insane. But anyway, so like this movie, what I really enjoyed about it, it's I think the way it's set up, the atmosphere for it, like just starts you off
Mhm.
feeling like it's all fucked.
Yeah.
Like everything looks shitty. It's dark as shit.
Right.
People were complaining. They were like, "It's so dark, I can't see it." Like, motherfucker,
That's
there's
what it
no
was back then.
this. It's fucking fire.
They just learned fired a year ago.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? At best.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, and it's supposed to be dark because that's the whole point. The whole movie is it's making you afraid, like these people are afraid of what the fuck is outside of their little
Mhm.
fire pit, right? And I think that's what makes this movie very effective for me.
When was the first time in your life when you were outside in a place that really didn't really have street lights or electric lights, and you were like,
It's fucking
"Holy
dark.
shit!" Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Mexico, so Mexico City is very much like here.
Yeah.
But like my dad's town in Michoacan, like it gets dark because I mean you have city streets, but like if you look up at the like the hills,
Yeah.
it's dark as shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes like we would party too hardy and we would leave a party too late and we would have to walk back. And there were some streets that there are no fucking street lights.
Yeah.
And you were just sitting there going like I have no idea what the fuck is
Yeah.
around this corner.
Yeah.
And it gets fucking
Dark,
scary, dude.
yeah.
Like here's the thing. I'm not someone who would classify themselves as like scared of the dark,
Yeah.
but I recognize the dark be scary.
Well, people who even say they're scared of the dark, I would say most don't know that what you just described, right?
What do you mean?
That type of dark, like actual dark, not like the
Oh,
hall light is out
my
dark.
lights went out.
Yes,
Boo-hoo.
right. Like that is scary. I think the first time I experienced it was in Door County, which is just purely a tourist place.
Mhm.
And
Beautiful, by the way.
Beautiful, but I was like, holy shit, like this is dark. That still did not prepare me for what Neolithic people had to deal with. And I can't say that like I can really experience what actual dark is like. But damn, did this movie make me feel like it.
And you feel like their internal struggle where like so let's go ahead and kind of like we already said we're pretty high on this movie.
Yeah.
I really do hope people check this out.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like on the shelf for a couple of years. It was like
Crazy.
It was an indie film from 2022,
Yeah.
but it was late 2022. It got bought early 2023, and they were hoping to release it in 2023. But then the company that bought them got bought out, so then that shifted everything.
Yeah.
So I know at first I was like, it might be a bad sign.
Yeah.
But learning that made more sense why it's taken about a year and a half to two to come out. So fine.
How happy must these actors be?
How what?
How happy must these actors be?
I mean, yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
because this is a pretty good movie.
they would have had to think that it was like sunk, right? Like they would have had to think like, oh, this is not getting any.
Yeah, because like I mean, you have a lot of things kind of going against you with this
Right.
movie, because like A, low budget,
Yeah.
B, Stone Age.
Oonga boonga.
You're like Oonga Oonga Boonga.
Yeah.
And speaking of Boonga Boonga,
Yeah.
they're speaking Oonga Boonga
Okay. Did you ever do research
on this movie.
in the language and how it was conceived? I did not.
I did a little bit.
Okay.
All I do know is that it is a made up language, and it uses a different language. I can't remember, something that starts with a B. But it's like a spin-off of another like Nordic language, I think.
So I was curious as to how or anyway, continue.
But anyway, so like it has all of those things going, because like now you're watching a movie in a made-up language
Right.
that is now subtitled.
Yeah.
And those are three things that a lot of people are just not willing to vibe with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people still don't. Like if afterwards, I don't know if you saw on the AMC group, like some people were like, this was kind of boring. And you're like, well, like it's not about like.
It was a little boring, but it was also fast.
Yes, but like I think the boringness comes from the fact that like this is a very mundane thing, but it can still be very scary.
Yeah.
It's dark.
I don't think that overstayed its welcome, and it's dark, right? It is, and the way that they make the sorry, I'm jumping, but like the way they made that opening scene around the campfire, and you just see the limited limited range.
Because like they're
campfire
5
has.
feet away from the fire, and it's dark.
They are
already.
in the anti-sea bear circle, and the anti-sea bear circle is
Yeah.
not very big.
Yeah.
And once you step out of the anti-sea bear circle, problems.
It took me a second. I was sitting here going, what the fuck is the anti-sea bear circle?
Yeah.
And it finally clicked. Yeah. Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
It really do be that like that. And the fact that like they're able to kind of be as effective where like nothing really is happening in a lot of the early scenes,
Right.
but you feel like just how secluded they are,
Yeah.
and also how exposed they are. I like how they show that someone has to stay up all night keeping watch,
Right.
because you cannot comfortably go to sleep
No.
and leave your homies, because a fucking wolf is gonna take you.
That, and they're looking for a cave,
They're looking for a cave,
and that's the
Well-
only type of shelter.
well, they're
that
looking.
exists.
They're looking for a new place. Ideally, they say if we could find the cave, like that would be the
Right.
best.
They're on
right?
the new land. They're in the new world.
I do kind of wish we would have gotten a little bit more explanation as to, and I don't know, maybe I missed it. I know they kind of tell quickly, like they're telling stories around the campfire, and they're like, "Oh, let me tell you the story about a young warrior who went out with his family."
Yeah.
And it's basically the story of like the dad,
Adem.
right? Adam.
Uh,
Adem.
Adem. And what does Adem sound like? Adam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair. But the whole like idea that they had to leave, I was kind of like, but why? But why? It's scary out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they mentioned that maybe like their shit was like going bad, like maybe they were running out of things in their land and they needed to just go find. I don't know if they got kicked out from other groups that were maybe around them.
Yeah, we don't know how many other Ungo Bungo people were in the last place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, right? But the whole thing is, well, now they're here and they are in this island that looks like shit.
I forget. I think I could be wrong. Maybe you know better. Hunter-gatherers existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think hunters came before gatherers. Am I wrong?
Hunters?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they both. Like,
I think
early...
it's more. I think it's more likely. I have no like scientific idea, but in my brain, it makes more sense for there to have been gatherers first because you're more likely to be like. You're more likely to be like, I'm gonna eat this berry than I'm gonna go kill this fucking thing.
I feel like anyway, but these people, do they ever gather or do they just hunt in this movie?
Doesn't someone show up with like nuts and shit?
I don't remember.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know they do. I mean, I think it's getting to the point too where at least for them they understand that you probably get more nutrition from meat,
right,
than you do from nuts. I feel like it's almost like we will go gather as a last resort, but our primary source of like we need to survive has to be from getting like meat.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing too with this movie. Like, it makes you appreciate the darkness. I also feel like we can't fully appreciate. I mean, you can't appreciate any historical time before you were around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll never be able to appreciate what the world was like without a telephone. But like, I feel like my brain cannot fully appreciate what it means to be a hunter-gatherer, just because, like, I mean, before this was suburb, it was farm, right? Right? Like, that's what we know, agriculture.
Yeah.
And like, you get that, like, you have to find. You gotta find your food.
Yeah.
You can't even grow it. Like, you are at the mercy of whatever, the untamed earth.
It's pretty fucked. And like you said, like, it does make you kind of go, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I don't have that drive.
They ate a leg or an arm or whatever they ate.
Yeah. And they also eat some other shit.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's go with our inciting incident in this is now that they're in this new land, they need to find somewhere to go, and everything is fucked. Like, the land is not good.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of dig at some things, and they're like, yeah, this fucking soil is shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be able to grow anything here. Yeah. Our only chance is to find a cave and hope that there's something to eat there.
Yep.
Right? And then during the night, their second night, I believe, they kind of get close to a forest, and the mom's about to pop. And they're like, we need to go around the forest because going through, we don't know what's in there. Yeah. Like, technically speaking, in a way, kind of me thinking, I'm speaking, me thinking, you would think maybe you can hide better in the forest, but at the same time, other things can hide from you a little easier also, too.
Like, this movie kind of does the Blair Witch Project thing where soon you learn that, like, they were just going in. They were going in circles.
They do in the forest.
And that's what forest. I mean, that's how people get lost in forest. They go in circles.
And so then they're like, we need to go around, but we need to sleep now.
Yeah. And
like that second night when they're sleeping, like there'd be shit out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that in this scene they make them a little rapey towards Bea, who is they say she's like a stray.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that idea that she's just someone they just kind of found and picked up and they took her with. And I mean, I kind of get it.
Right.
Because they're like, well, we found you're going to be useful. You're going to make babies.
It's kind of how
it was.
It's how it was back then.
But then it also made me kind of feel like when shit was going down with the demo, I was like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you lose that sense of urgency to help him when you're like, yeah, dude, he was kind of, you know.
Well, this is where I think the movie gets into theme. I agree. Adem is not a hero in this movie, but I do read him as a prototypical
man's man.
Well, he's the archetypical human prototype,
Yeah.
right? Like this is like, and I think maybe I'm reading too much into the name, but is the wife name Ave? A-V-E?
Ave, yeah.
It's fucking Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of how it was, and I think the movie's kind of trying to make a point that human beings do be shitty.
Yeah.
And at the end, I think it really hits that theme hard. But like, if this is your hero and like he's kind of rapey, and you're like, well, that's what it was back then. You're also like, well, I guess we just kind of have to look at ourselves and be like, if I'm mad that Adem sucks, then I got me to blame.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this second night is where the other boy or their boy Heron gets taken. He's their youngest boy, which, by the way, funny enough, it's a boy but played by a girl.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Luna
Mwezi. I'm looking right now. Wow, yeah.
And the kid just gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, the kid's taken, and fucking Adem just bolts.
Which also is a positive character trait for Adem, even though like kind of stupid. Like
I get it.
He's gonna go get his progeny.
It's that. It's also the fact that like at this point they are. It's kind of like a lose-lose situation, right? If you go out and save them, you're putting yourselves in danger. But if you lose this person, then your group shrinks and your survival rate shrinks as well.
Well, that's the thing. I joked with you when you were saying this. Forgive me if this gets me canceled. In addition to understanding Dark and understanding hunter-gatherers, this movie also made me understand patriarchy. Because I'm like, Ame's not handling the threat.
No, but Bea handles the threat.
Bea handles the threat.
So, it's a bit patriarchy. It's a bit anti-patriarchy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Adem.
Adem is a go-getter.
Yes.
Adem is a leading man. He is here to try to save his commune,
But if you don't have your muscle back then...
Fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, Bea handles herself okay.
She does.
As far as like a non-supernatural element goes, right? Yeah. And for a good chunk of this movie, it does kind of make you go, is this a supernatural threat or not?
Correct.
Right? You're not sure if it's a monster. You're not sure if it's an animal.
They think it's a demon.
They think it's a demon.
Yeah. You're not sure if it's a person.
You're not sure if it's a person.
Yep.
And they kind of play with that for a while. I do like that as far as like keeping you on your toes.
It fooled you?
Hmm?
It fooled you temporarily?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's got to be like...
We saw something and you were like, oh, it can't be a person.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because, what was it that I saw?
It was wearing some headdress type thing. He had a weird angle.
Oh, yeah. It's that scene where he's being rapey.
Yeah.
And then they look over and there is like something like... It looks like it's on all fours.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so I guess it's not a person. Because I thought going in there was going to be other people.
And this movie does a good job of whatever the opposite of disambiguating is. Ambiguating. Diegetic and non-diegetic sound. Because you hear the screech of the attacker. But it also mixes in with the score where there are moments where I was like, am I supposed to hear this? Or is this just the score?
Yeah, and I think that adds to the tension of the movie a bit, because then and then you also don't know what are they hearing, what are they not hearing, right?
Yep.
Because they're reacting to all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
So then this leads us to they're out looking for heron in the woods because they just run into the fucking forest, and they kind of decide, well, we're going to camp in the forest for the rest of the night, and then they start to hear more shit.
Yeah.
And Heron just goes after again. Not Heron, sorry. Adem goes again, and he just gets lost.
Yeah.
And he just gets demolished by
right away.
something.
Yeah.
It looks gnarly.
So gnarly is the right word.
I don't think I was expecting this movie to get as gnarly as it did with that.
No.
But this thing looks fucking gross.
Yeah.
It's great prosthetic work for whoever did it. And you can see that he's still alive.
The jaw's unhinged. Yeah.
It's like torn to shit. His teeth are like half are gone.
Yeah.
And he is a fucking mess, dude. And they're like, well, gotta put him out.
Yeah.
And you're expecting Gare, I believe, is the oldest son,
right,
to be the one to like, man up, now take charge, and he can't do it.
Nope.
And who comes in? Anti-patriarchy girl.
Yeah.
And she puts him down, and then they eat him.
Yep.
Dude, there were a lot of times in this movie where I inappropriately laughed.
Yeah. I was wondering if the theater was mad at us, but
there were other people who were also laughing.
Okay, good. Because there was some funny shit.
I mean, the smash cut to them just sitting there eating.
Yeah.
And just pulling, and just like,
yeah.
It's really funny visual. Because, like, they're like, I mean, he doesn't need it anymore. And then there's a second part that I lost my shit. You did too. At the very end of the movie.
Spoiler alert, it is people.
It is people, right? So then they decide they're going to like sacrifice Bea after Gare gets them lost in the woods.
Yeah.
They
Juju she's bringing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she's bleeding and that's drawing in the monster.
Right.
So we need to sacrifice her. And at first I'm like, oh, Abe is gonna be like, nah, that's fucked. She's like, yeah, let's fuck her up. And you're like, oh, fuck all these people.
Yeah.
And fucking at this point, Gare is the only one standing up for her. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the only one left. Mm-hmm. So like, it paints him in a better light, right? He is kind of a dick to her after like she eats
his dad.
I can't remember what she says. And she goes, "Well, you ate him."
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that.
I can't remember either.
It was funny.
Yeah. We saw this movie a while ago.
It's been over a week. And then she escapes. They both get got. I think Ave dies naturally. Right? Because doesn't he stab her?
I can't remember, but like the priest guy, Arno Lunning, or I don't know what the fucking character's name is. Odal. He gets his just like bone like cracked through, and he's stuck in wherever
yeah.
he is.
But the thing is,
I think Ave dies.
Yeah, because like they go to betray Bea.
Yeah.
He when she escapes, then he betrays Ave. He stabs her, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Take this bitch instead of me," and then the thing comes and just kills him.
Yeah.
Right. But then we find some caves, and they go, "We're gonna go in this fucking cave," because they see the creature.
Right.
And what is the creature?
The creature was people.
The creature is kind of people.
The kind of people.
I mean, it's
Unga Bunga people.
It's Unga Bunga people, right? It's even more Unga Bunga people than the Unga Bunga people we were following.
Oh, I didn't take it. It was more Unga Bunga. I just take it.
They're Neanderthals.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look at the casting, they are listed as Neanderthal man and Neanderthal woman.
Oh, interesting. So, let me back up. This is where. So, talking about this movie, you would think I gave it a higher rating than I actually did. Because while I'm glad the movie wraps it up here, while I think a lot of what happens here is compelling, I think once we get into the caves, some stupid shit starts to happen.
Yeah. I feel like this is where it starts to lean more into like we want to be a horror movie.
We want to get done.
We want to get done. Yeah. It does feel a little rushed.
They split right away.
They split the party. Right Which I was like, why are you going into two different caves? Stick together.
And I was like, I don't know that you guys are that cave experienced, but like, even if I had never seen a cave before, I would be like, I think we're staying together.
Right here.
That's not what happens.
That is not what happens. And the other problem that I have with this scene is like, there's unnecessary like jump scare here where like you don't need it because it's already scary because it's fucking dark. Mm-hmm. There's like loud thunder crashes, and at one point you see like the Unga Bunga person in the background.
Yeah.
Right. And she like this is where it kind of loses me a little bit, because it's revealed that they were giving Ava like a burial. So it shows that these are sympathetic people.
Yeah, but
and she realizes this after she kills one of them, right? She kills the man, and then she also then realizes that no. Sorry, I think I'm going backwards. She kills the man, finds the boy Heron alive.
Right.
Then he takes her to see the body,
Yeah.
Ava's body. She realizes, oh, they are not actually evil. They are maybe, I don't know, not communicating well.
So,
and then the woman shows up, and immediately it's like, fucking bonk.
Yes. Now the woman, I think, does try. Doesn't the woman try to kill Bea when she comes in?
She immediately tries when she walks into that.
The Neanderthal woman tries.
Yes.
To kill Bea. Okay. The movie, I think, is so explicit with the way it frames the ending that I think the movie makes the argument that Neanderthal man and woman did not deserve to die.
Yes.
And I won't call Neanderthal man and woman evil. But I will say...
But?
they had it coming.
Yeah. Well, like, what do you expect? Like, you sneak up on people.
Yeah, they dragged him out.
You drag him out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
For what? Because he looked hungry? Bitch, they're all hungry.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to come in peace, at least, like, start by at night leaving some food for them and trying to not be so goddamn scary.
And if they are, and I didn't realize they were Neanderthals until now, but then if they are we to believe that they were significantly more stupid? Or
I think that's
different?
I think there is something evolutionary wise that they were not as developed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they showed them.
I don't think the gap is that.
Exactly. And also, like, the way the movie paints them is like they are at least smart enough to have culture, right? Yep. So there's something there. They should know how not to be fucking threatening.
Let's not drag away this boy 5 feet from his fire.
At 2 a.m, right? And so then that's where I'm like, huh. And then the boy is trying so hard to convince them, or convince her.
Yeah. He should have tried harder and earlier.
These people are friends.
Yeah.
They helped me. They fed me.
Yeah.
Because this is right after Garrett gets his fucking head bashed in by Unga Bunga woman.
Right.
And you're like, you're making the wrong case here, child.
Yeah.
And then they escape through a hole.
Right.
And the boys
smoke her out.
They smoke her out. Yeah. This is where I fucking lost it. They crawl through the hole.
Whack-a-mole
they're crawling through this hole. Smoke's coming out. The boy walks out. The girl walks out. Yeah. And then he's like, no, we gotta go help her. Yeah. And he goes, he's like pulling on her. Yeah. And it like cuts to Bea, and she looks, and she ponders it. Yeah. And then she looks defeated a bit, and she goes, all right, I'm gonna go. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna show her going to help. And she just goes, bonk! Yeah. Dude, I laughed. Fucking so laughed.
And that's the point where I thought the theater could have been mad at us, but I don't take that back. I don't take that laugh back one.
We were not the only ones, but it was so fucking funny. Yeah. Because, like, I don't want to say subverting expectations is, like, it's that easy.
Right.
But then, in that case, it was that easy. Because I was like, oh, she's going to realize that they can all live happy.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then they do have the conversation with the boy, because he's like, why'd you kill her? She's like, I don't know. And they retell the story like she's regretful.
Yeah.
Because she's like,
and that's where I think the movie is like, oh, Unga Bunga Lee did not deserve to die. And I'm like, not 100%. Not 100%.
In your defense, there is a difference between deserving to die and having it coming.
Yeah.
You are right in that sense. Yeah. If you kidnap a child,
right?
If you
terrorize
a family, if you bash a man's face in,
right, and
leave him alive with his jaw busted,
you're playing stupid games.
You got it coming, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I had fun with the movie.
I really want to see this again. I think thematically it is a really great movie.
But I mean, isn't in a way, if I remember correctly, like, this is kind of how shit did kind of go down because like Neanderthals and Homo sapiens lived for a
they
good
did. I
chunk
mean,
of time, and they just got phased out.
that's how it happened. Like, but also, I'm going to bring this back to the biblical narrative, but the whole thing is like evil. Evil biblically is like this thing in human nature where we're like, if we don't protect ourselves, someone's going to come get us. So we got to build the walls and we got to have the bigger sticks. And we got to use those bigger sticks to fuck everybody else up or else we're going to get fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the nature of evil is painted. And that's kind of the story that's happening here. Like, if I don't bonk Lady's head, she's going to bonk me.
Yeah.
So I better bonk her head.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a strange movie
Yeah.
in the sense that like I said, like thematically speaking, like it is rich
Yeah.
in a way. In the effectiveness of the tension that it builds and you know the delivering on the spooky like atmosphere.
Right.
Great
Works.
job.
Yeah.
But there are some things that just keep it, I think for me, keep it
There's
from
some things that are
greatness.
just like a little too stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're stupid, and then they're stupid that gets you starting previews at 7 p.m. and back in your car before 9 p.m.
Oh, that felt good.
That's stupid I can live with.
That felt good.
Yeah.
I was very happy. Yeah, a tight 93-ish minutes, give or take.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that this movie only has like 6 people in the cast.
Yeah.
Is also like makes them credits go mighty quick at the end.
Tight.
All right. So here's the other thing. This movie, I could not find any information on, so we can't really discuss a lot of that stuff. I have no idea what the budget is. It has not come out, so we have no opening weekend.
So far, it's got a good critic score.
Out of 32 reviews, which honestly, it seems a little low, but 91%,
yeah,
not bad.
Solid.
I want to say it's at like a 6 or 7 out of 10 critic, like rating wise.
So the language is Tola that he made up, and he based it off of Basque.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of goes along with like we said, like making this movie feel authentic and feel scary because like you feel like this is a like a real group.
It feels
of
authentic
people,
to
right?
a time you could never authentically actually recreate.
I was kind of worried. So the movie started and they were speaking in whatever this language was. I was like, I don't recognize this. It doesn't sound like anything specific to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this going to be the type of movie where they start talking in that and then they'll do that thing where it phases slowly into English?
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know that I want that to happen.
Me neither.
And I was very glad that it didn't.
Yeah.
There's a movie, I think, that we saw recently that did that. I know for a fact that like Valkyrie does it.
I haven't seen Valkyrie, but you know what kind of does a version of that really well? When Caesar in Planet of the Apes says no.
Yeah. But I mean, even that, like he's
correct. Everybody else is speaking in English.
Everyone else is speaking English. Yeah. That shit was wild. I remember watching that scene in the theaters, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It fucked me up.
Yeah.
Great shit.
Yeah.
All right, homie. Thank you so much for watching this movie with me.
I am so happy we watched this movie.
I am not even going to bother asking you if you want to go see the next one because I have zero interest in what the movie speculated it is.
The next one.
It's something called like something Angels. I don't know. It looks really cheesy. It's got the big dude from Jack Reacher and Hilary Swank or whatever.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe if they do another sometime where we are off over the summer, we can fuck with some of these early screenings.
So I'm curious as to how much this early screening thing is going to catch on. Today, on the radio, I heard that Warner Brothers, Disney, and Fox are coming together to create their own sports streaming service.
Interesting.
For only sports. And between that and this, and I'm sure many other things, it could be a very, very different near future for what the entertainment landscape looks like and how and when we get our media.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Very weird. very weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, people are saying that like this type of shit is killing like cinema by trying to force these streaming things.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like necessarily that.
You know who else didn't like something?
The Neanderthals.
Unga
bunga bunga bunga.
The lesser Unga Bunga people arrived.
Holy shit. Man, what a good time.
Yeah. If we weren't able to say Unga Bunga,
dude,
would this review be half as fun?
No.
No.
I've loved the term Unga Bunga.
Yeah.
From I think I've explained to you since my days of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And even before. But something about that, the push for Elden Ring and then turning one of my characters in D&D into a barbarian, it just amplified the Unga Bunga.
Love of Unga Bunga.
Ooh, Unga Bunga time is great. All right, homie. Thank you so much. Everybody else at home, thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Remember to share, like. I don't think people can rate us. Oh no, they can.
They can on Spotify.
They can rate us on
We've got a
Spotify.
good rating. We've got a good rating.
We got a 5-star rating out of our millions of reviews.
Yeah.
Share us. That could be our New Year's gift to us.
Yes.
But anyway, we will be back soon with I don't know what movie we'll be.
Something.
Probably Lisa Frankenstein, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see that this weekend on Saturday, I think.
Something.
All right, homies. Until next time, he has been Thano.
He has been Javier.
And this has been the Cine-Scoots movie show.
Bye.
Bye.